Hey guys, it's Cynical Who here, and welcome back to another video. So today I am here back once again to talk about the current situation of Doctor Who and a bit of a mess that it's in. And today I am joined by a very special guest. I've got Tharries here with me.
Hello.
Say hello. Yep, all his links will be in the description if you want to go and check out his videos and the live stream he did last night, which is a pretty similar concept, but it's sort of, we're going to be differentiating things a bit more. But due to the recent sort of series and finale, there's been a lot of controversy over it, and we're just going to be sort of running through, what's been happening over the past week, the shitstorm that's been occurring online. So I think if you'd like to, I'll tell you what, let's take us back to last Sunday, and you refresh us with your opinion on the finale.
Okay, well, where to begin? So,
yeah.
My opinion on series, I think for me to say about my opinion on the finale, I have to give a bit of context of my opinion on the rest of the series. So, I thought it was an improvement over Series 11 overall, but still not great. And leading up to the finale, I reported on the rumours surrounding the finale on whether they were going to do the Timeless Child thing, which turned out they did. And I was hoping in my heart that they weren't going to do it. That was my main thing, is I hoped to God that they didn't do it.
You made that very clear.
Yeah, they did. So,
oh dear.
That for me was kind of enough to put me off the episode. Positives for me were Sacha Dhawan's master.
Oh yeah, of course.
And that's
fantastic.
About it, really. Other than that,
okay.
The Cyber Time Lords, I found them quite dumb. The companions didn't really do anything, and the Doctor ended up letting someone else sacrifice themselves for her instead of her sacrificing herself for people. So yeah, overall it was just a textbook misfire in my opinion. But that's just me.
And if you've been watching, well, the series has ended now, but if you've been watching me and Max's reviews every Sunday of the episodes, I stated in the review that I quite liked The Timeless Children, and I've come to find that I think within the next day I've thought about it a lot more, and it's not great. My opinions really have mellowed. We're watching a lot of other people's reviews and seeing the reaction from the fandom. It's really, really polarised the fan base, this episode, and a lot of it has changed in my mind, because I thought it was okay, but looking back on it, I mean, the canon is, I know a lot of people bring up the canon, and it's an interesting situation, but the canon is, for want of a better word, fucked. There's a lot. I mean, of course, within 50, is it how long has it been? Almost 56 years or something of Doctor Who.
57th anniversary come. November, I think. So yeah.
Well, there we go.
56
and a bit years of canon. It's surprised that they have, of course it's going to be messed up at points, of course, and things like the brain of Morbius, which for some reason people were saying was uncanon, but we'll get to that in a minute. But it was going to be messed up at some point, and it's no point in saying it hasn't been, because it definitely has been at some point. But when you get to an episode like this, and Chibnall decides to do something so groundbreaking and big like this, especially in his second season as well as showrunner, it took a few seasons for Moffat to get to Hellbent, which is an interesting thing. But I think it was definitely a bold move, and I think it probably paid off on Chibnall's end, but not so much for the fan base, as there's been a lot of backlash. You either really hate it, or you quite like it. Well, I mean, or you like me, you're sort of on the fence. I mean, I don't really hate it, but I really don't like the idea of the Doctor being the Timeless Child, and the first, this person who created Gallifrey and regeneration and Time Lords and all that, because it sort of leaves you wondering, what about Rassilon and Omega, which is great. It's great to have that sort of ambiguity.
I agree. But I think it makes the Doctor too important, essentially. That's my kind of argument, is it makes it too important, and it does kind of devalues, to me at least, the arc that the first Doctor goes on, with him learning to be a good person. If he's already done that journey 1,000 times before, it makes that, by extension, feel less special. So, for me, that's how I felt about it. But I mean, in terms of fan reaction, it is very divided right now. Like I said in reviews leading up to this, not reviews but videos leading up to this, that it would be more polarizing than the reveal of a female Doctor. And I think I was right on that. Because if you look at the BBC, the BBC video on the reveal on their BBC YouTube channel, it's let me double check. I had it up a second ago. Let me grab it. 1 second.
Alright, fair enough. But yeah, I mean, I'll talk meanwhile. I think it's a shame to see, even before it started, on your Discord server, which, by the way, go and get him on his Discord server, because you can catch him and speak to him every now and then. But if you want to join Tharries' Discord server, I was on there before the episode began, and there were people already saying, "Oh, rest in peace, Doctor Who," and like it's a sad thing to see so many people not having faith in the finale before it's even aired, and I think that's a sign that, you know, it's sort of predictable, but it's not. They know how bad even before it aired, even I was, you know, ambivalent towards it, definitely.
Well, I think it's indicative of how people's standards have lowered. Because I remember, if you go on to my review of Can You Hear Me and my episode that I did with Time of the Whovians United on Can You Hear Me, I said that I thought it was quite a good episode, but looking back on it, if it was in any other series of the show, it would likely have been considered as meh. So I think in general our standards have lowered. And the thing I don't understand is that Chibnall seems to be getting a lot more of a free pass than previous showrunners. Like, imagine if Moffat had done what they did in Timeless Children. I feel like the uproar would be a lot more than it actually is. Because like I've seen a lot more people defending this than I expected them to. If you look at the BBC video though, it says the origins of Doctor Who finally revealed, and it's got 2.6k dislikes and 1k likes.
Oh wow!
So it's
bloody hell!
It's being absolutely destroyed on the BBC channel. On the Doctor Who end, it is a bit more sort of level. On the Doctor Who YouTube channel's end, it is a bit more level, but that's only because I think there are some diehards who genuinely love everything because it's got the word Doctor Who and Who in it.
And probably worth mentioning, because I've been watching the Who Addicts review, and they had a massive they got, I think, over 400 dislikes on their Timeless Children review, and I'd just like to reiterate in this video, this is just our opinions, and I know the title will probably say something like Doctor Who is shit or something in capital letters, but I'd just like to reiterate that these are our opinions. We are all. This is our show. We are Doctor Who fans. We're allowed to tear it to shreds where we see fit. And if you have any other opinion, make sure to comment below. But, you know, bear in mind that everyone has their own opinions. And yeah, there we go. But if you liked it, you are mental. Okay, but I think also the finale, definitely, with Ascension of the Cybermen, because if you know, we did a review of Ascension of the Cybermen together with Max, so go and check that out. There'll probably be like an iCard or a link in the description. But I wasn't that fussed about Ascension of the Cybermen, especially if it's the first parter. I think it was just, and especially to see in the second half, the Cybermen were just, like, again, it's the same problem with things like World Enough and Time and Dark Water. The Cybermen were just shoved aside. They were sort of there to entice you in the first half, and then it focuses more on something like the Master or Gallifrey in the second half. And that's...
Yeah, well, I think the Who Addicts put it best when they referred to the Cyberbed, in modern Who at least, as the Master's Bitch, which is basically what they kind of are in New Who at least, because their most stories is the Cybermen and the Master. Moffat stories at least, like Moffat finales, series 8, 10 and 12 now have all been Cybermen Master finales, so it's like almost an every 2 series tradition now, almost. It's very strange, and I don't really understand it. Because like the Cybermen, for those who don't know, is my favourite.
Oh yeah, they are fantastic.
The Daleks are no doubt the most iconic, but like in terms of what's my favourite, it's definitely the Cybermen. Just because I love the concept. However, it does annoy me how underutilised and sort of poorly written they have been in New Who at least, and this kind of felt like an extension of the
Cybermen. But yeah, I think again the Cybermen were just sort of the Cyber Time Lords as well. Looked quite. I think when I saw the leaked picture initially, I thought it was quite a nice idea, and it had been done in comics before and whatnot. But looking back at it, I'm aware it was done in comics before,
but to me it just felt incredibly fanfic.
Oh yeah, I think so, and I think I heard rumours about the finale like months before Spyfall had aired, because Max is my supplier. No, sorry, I won't say that. But yeah, I think it's sort of devalued some of the. Well, no, it hasn't. Okay, a plot hole I've noticed, and of course I think Max pointed this out to me or something, is at the end when the Cybermen supposedly blow up on Gallifrey. Surely they'll just continue to regenerate.
Yeah.
So
I mean, my question with that was, if the Time Lord bodies were dead, how can they still regenerate?
oh my, yeah, there is so much about this story that just doesn't make.
So many plot holes.
Yeah, I think Chibnall. I know Chibnall said he's aware of the canon, but this finale could have been so much better. I think it's definitely better than the Battle of Rantagrav Kolos, because it at least had that finale feel, and there was closure. But I feel like the story itself didn't work as well as it should have done, especially if you're going to be bringing back Gallifrey and destroying it again. And I don't know where that even leaves the whole Time Lord plot. It's just, yeah, it could have been done a lot better, definitely. And I want to talk about how last year with Series 11, I think I remember watching The Woman Who Fell to Earth and thinking, oh, that was all right, and then a lot of people really praised it. I think episode 1s are always a bit overrated, but I think I found Series 11 interesting for the most part, and then you get stories like the Saranga Conundrum and Kablam, which I really don't like, and then the finale, which this is saying something when I didn't even watch the finale when it came out because I just couldn't be arsed. I think Home Alone was on instead, so I watched that. But that says it all, really. But I think after Series 11 aired, I didn't go back and rewatch any of it because I couldn't be arsed. Like, I just found myself in this sort of void of Doctor Who, and I was thinking, well, I don't know whether I can be bothered to watch Doctor Who when it comes back. I think I'm just going to sit here with the classic series or something on Big Finish and just enjoy that. But it's a shame because when Series 12 came back and when Spyfall aired, I thought, wow, this is a real improvement. I'm enjoying this. It's a definite improvement from last year, and things are a lot better. The character development, the script writing's better, and it was Series 12. In retrospect, I'm planning to make a separate video about Series 12, but it's better than last year. And there's some decent stories in there, like The Haunting of Villa Diodati and Can You Hear Me? And Spyfall and whatnot. But I sort of find myself, after the finale, I find myself in that sort of void again. Like, I can't be arsed with Doctor Who at the moment. I mean, not fully, because I am looking forward to the Revolution of the Daleks, the special, which I think we might talk a bit about later. But for the moment, I'm really not bothered with it. Like, and that's a shame, because I don't want to be in that place again, because I sort of went off Doctor Who for a bit. And
I did as well.
I just don't want to find myself there again because it's a shit place to be, and I want to be passionate about the show because I want to keep this channel running. But it's hard to do that when I feel completely empty on the show itself, and that is a shame. It's a massive shame that this finale has managed to sort of almost push me to that point again. But don't worry, because I am making more content, so you've got nothing to worry about. But yeah, also, again, something else I want to talk about. I know you covered this in your video. There'll probably be a link to that again. So many links in this video. But it's about Bradley Walsh and Tosin Cole leaving in the special, which, I don't know, maybe you can confirm this for me. Has it been confirmed yet, or is it just a rumour?
The leaving Bradley Walsh goes a goal.
It is confirmed. Okay. I knew, of course, Tosin Cole was going to go on and do something else. That was pretty much cemented for us, but I didn't know about Bradley Walsh. And I think Bradley Walsh's excuse, did he have one? Was it just that he wasn't particularly enamoured with the show anymore, or?
I think it's just because, he said that he was finding the schedule a bit draining, even though he's taken on a new role in a remake of a British comedy show. So, who knows, really?
And
to be honest, I think, to be fair, though, Bradley Walsh is, leaving. I kind of expected that.
I think it's about time, too.
In terms of, But because of his, busy schedule, I didn't expect him to stay
I don't know how he does
it. This, to be honest.
He's a busy man.
No, I know. He seems to be, literally on TV all the time. It's very bizarre.
Yeah, but of course this leaves us with, I mean, I don't know how that will pan out in the show. I think it's probably a good thing that after 2 seasons that those two are leaving, especially together, because it would sort of fit. I would like to see how they combat that. But I think it'd be interesting to see Mandip Gill and Jodie Whittaker, and I know I mentioned this to you last night, but I think it'd be interesting to see those two on their own. I don't know how well it would work. I think it would give it a bit more breathing room for some more development, which was lacking in prior series, but...
Maybe. I think for me, because, she's been so much stroking, the Doctor's ego in episodes that I don't think I want, just a series of her going, yes, Doctor, anything you say, Doctor. You're so amazing, Doctor.
I think if maybe they throw another character in there, it may be interesting. Or maybe she leaves halfway through the series, maybe something like that. I don't know. But I think it would definitely be interesting. Even for one episode, I think it would be interesting to see. But, as you said, maybe it would get a bit too much. And the next thing I wanted to talk about was the ratings and the viewing figures, which is a big part to play in this, and it is depressing for want of a better word. Now, if we look at series 11 rather, of course it's going to be it's be much better viewers, aren't there? There's a new female Doctor. It's Doctor Who hasn't been on for however long it had been on for, and of course The Woman Who Fell to Earth got 8.2 million in the overnight viewers. And
I think it was over 10 million.
10.54. I've got it here, and throughout the series it went on from 6, and the finale got about 5, and of course that's okay. I mean, it's not bad, but Series 11 is its own thing, and I've made another video about that if you want to check that out. But I think if you're going to compare it to something like pardon me, if you're going to compare it to something like Series 12, where even the first episode got less than, say, Kablam, it got 4.88 million overnight viewers, which is depressing, as I said. And when you get to stories like Praxius, it drops down to 3 million, and it's a steady 3 million until you get to episode 10, The Timeless Children, and this is where it really shows. I think was it Country File and the Antiques Roadshow were either side of it, weren't they? Is that right? Mm-hmm. And the viewers, it shows, because they got Doctor Who got less overall viewing figures than either of those shows. So people turned off for Doctor Who and turned it back on once it finished. And if that isn't saying something, I don't know what the fuck is. If even the general audience, people who watch Country File, can't be arsed with Doctor Who at that point, it's not in a great place, and it leaves me slightly ambivalent to see how. Of course, maybe if it's a Christmas special, it's going to get more viewing figures and the ratings are going to be better. But I'm at least interested to see, and that's all we can be for the next however many months until it's confirmed when we're getting Revolution of the Daleks.
Well, yeah, this is the thing with Revolution. I got told by someone that episode was going to have Davros and a Civil War story, so I'll watch it just to see if he was right, really. But beyond that, I don't really know what to do about Series 13. I'm conflicted on it.
Oh, yeah.
Part of me wants to review it, part of me wants to do a video on it, do videos on it, rather, but part of me just wants to leave it alone. Yeah. I just don't feel like I'm going to be enthused enough to talk about it.
Yeah, and that is a shame, considering, it's supposed to be a new era of the show. Even for, within 2 seasons, Chris Chibnall I'm quoting here, people saying he's killed Doctor Who. And, I mean, that's not a great place to be in, if you're the showrunner. And, I mean, I think it was Lenny who told me, I don't know if you know him, but he told me that apparently Jodie Whittaker has been confirmed, not confirmed, there's been rumours of she's only going to stay for one more season. Which, I mean, it would make sense, as is most, Doctors only do 3 or something like that. only do 3 years, as Patrick Troughton said. But I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's interesting. I think with all these rumours, of course, things can't be confirmed or denied at this point, but it leaves you wondering, and if things like these do happen, then the show really isn't going to be in a great place, and things like cancellation will be brought up, and no one wants to hear that word, really, do they? I mean, it might be a relief to some people, but...
Yeah. I just don't know, to be honest.
This video is really sad, isn't it? Because we're just talking so negative. I don't like to talk, well, unless it's something like Twice Upon a Time.
The surprising thing is, a lot of people think that I enjoy it. I really don't. I really don't enjoy being negative. It's just the sad reality of it is that the show isn't that great anymore.
Yeah, and it's not a personal attack at any of the team who work on it. I think their efforts are fantastic, and we really should appreciate them for all they do for us. But it's just when we're not getting the same stuff. I mean, recently I've been recording reviews for every episode of Series 1 coming up to the anniversary with Max, and we've been watching them all. And I think if you're watching something like Dalek, which is our next one we need to do, and then going something like The Timeless Children, it really is, like, in comparison, of course, comparing it to Rusty Davies, who is a god, but it's just depressing. And even I've been watching Series 8 at the moment, and even stories like The Caretaker, which I didn't previously like, I'd rather watch The Caretaker over The Timeless Children, or any episode in Series 11. And
yeah, it's just, the thing is it's nothing, I've said this before, it's nothing really original.
No.
It's just kind of regurgitated ideas from the Moffat and Davies eras. And even, Series 11, they were new ideas, but they weren't good. So you either get bad new ideas or bad rehashes for familiar ground. Either way, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, and I think I don't know whether I mentioned this in the video, but I mentioned this on Twitter. I've been rewatching Torchwood recently because it's been put on BBC iPlayer. And if you look at some of Chris Chibnall's Torchwood stories, they are fantastic. And there's an episode called Fragments, which is the penultimate story for Series 2. And within about the space of about 15 minutes, he does some fantastic character development for Owen. And it makes you wonder how come he can do that in a story that, a one-off story, in a series that doesn't even belong to him. He can't do it in the actual show itself when he's in charge. And yeah, I mean, that is really saying something, isn't it? But it just sort of leaves me, not looking forward to the finale. Well, sorry, not finale, the special. I'd be excited to see Davros back. I'd be excited to see how he handles the Dalek stuff and Davros and supposedly Captain Jack coming back. But as I said, it just sort of leaves me in that null zone where I don't really feel anything towards the current era of the show. And I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say, which is just a shame, because I should be talking about this series and looking back on it and saying, oh, it was a really good series. Everything was good about it, but I can't, because it wasn't. And it's a shame that this has split the fan base so much, and there's probably a constant argument going on right now, actually, about people arguing about the finale, and it's sad. But I think that's probably a good place to wrap up this video. If you have any more to say, have you got all your Series 12 anger out yet, or?
I think so, pretty much. I'm just going to be focusing on the thing I'll be doing, like rankings and stuff like that.
But yeah, I think that's probably a good place to leave it. And I say a good place is a bad place, because no one wants to be in this place about Doctor Who, but I think that's probably a good time to end it. We've come up to 25 minutes or so now. So I definitely consider going over to Tharries' channel and subscribing to him. He makes some pretty, especially if you want to stay up to date with Doctor Who stuff, because I don't know how you get out your videos so fast, but you cover Doctor Who news and whatnot, podcasts, and I mean, am I allowed to say your upcoming thing? I probably won't. I'll leave it for you to announce.
Hang on, which upcoming thing is that? I got a couple of
the one I'm putting it in the chat. There we go. That one. I'll leave it for you to announce.
Wait, let me scroll down. Yeah, we'll leave it to it. That's something to look forward to, eh?
Probably the only thing to look forward to. But, I mean, not on your channel, I mean in Doctor Who general. But yeah,
Yes.
definitely subscribe to him. Subscribe to me if you're not, because Tharries probably sent you over here because my channel is tiny. But yeah, make sure to chime in. I'll be doing Series 1 reviews upcoming. Figure Adventure should be coming soon, but I'll have to see about that. But yeah, it's just a bit of a content void at the moment, as I've been calling it. But I'll be thinking of things to upload for you guys and consistently, hopefully. But yeah, do make sure to subscribe to Tharries. Make sure to check out our other video, our Essential to Cybermen review. And I think that's it, really. Thank you very much for watching this solemn video about Series 12. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.